Hey, Trailblazers, this is your host, Jason. And as you know, one thing we care most about on the Trailblazing Texas podcast is supporting small businesses that support our outdoor community. Angry Pica Food Company is exactly that. Family driven, community focused, and committed to fueling adventures the right way. So please check them out. They have wonderful meals and a new product, coffee, which I've tested and it's spectacular. So give them a look at angrypicafood.com. Now on with the episode. Welcome to the Trailblazing Texas Podcast, where we embark on a journey through our diverse Texas landscapes and breathtaking trails while always engaging with our amazing Texas hiking community. So settle in, tighten up those bootlaces, and get ready for the thrilling tales awaiting for you on this episode. Welcome to the Trailblazing Texas Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and today I am totally pumped to have a dear friend of mine coming to us all the way from Warsaw, Poland. Natalia, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Jason. It's a great honor to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. And to the listeners, you may be going, oh my God, first off, the Trailblazing Texas Podcast is going international. And we are. Secondly, you may be asking yourself, okay, what does Poland have to do with Texas, hiking, backpacking, all that stuff? Well, we're about to get into it. So the guts of this episode is really discussing Natalia's recent trip to Everest Base Camp, which is pretty amazing. But before we get into all that, Natalia, I don't know how much of the podcast that you've listened to, but we do a lightning round. I love it. The listeners love it. The guests, I like to think they love it. These are questions that you've not seen. I use it as kind of a warm-up to kind of break the ice, to kind of shake off the nerves. So hopefully this will not damage any international relations between Poland and Texas, but we're going to have some fun with it. Are you ready?
I am, yes.
All right, first question. Oh, and these are like lightning round questions. So, short, fast, first words that come to your head. And if it's not very lightningy, I still haven't looked it up to see if that's actually a word. Don't worry, through the magic of edit, you're going to be flying through these answers. So no worries.
Okay.
First question: who is more intense, Polish moms or grandmas?
Moms.
If cities had personalities, what would Krakow be?
I would always consider it as a weird poet, maybe personality, something like that.
Okay. Coffee at 17,000 feet at sunrise or 9 a.m. in the office?
9 a.m. in the office. I was never a sunrise person. I'm sorry. It's a blasphemy here, but I'm so sorry. But you know me. You probably knew the answer.
Yeah. If you were back in Texas and you were missing home, what food would instantly cure your homesickness?
Beetroot soup that I got in the Polish store in Houston. So that was something that cured my homesickness.
All right. Which is more stressful, an EDI project or a Nepalese traffic jam?
I think I got used to the traffic jams, so I believe EDI project now.
All right. Pierogi, before a hike or after?
After. Easy.
All right. Now, I'm a witness to this next question because I did visit Warsaw, about a year ago. So, does vodka increase the percentage of smiling in Poland?
100% yes, you saw that happening.
Yep. All right. Krakow or Warsaw, who wins in style?
Krakow.
All right. For you, city life or countryside?
I'm sorry, city life.
I knew that one. All right, this is probably the most serious question of the lightning round. At what age were you diagnosed with mountain blood?
Oh God. I think that's around 8. I can't really tell, the exact date,
Yeah.
but I think it was 7 or 8 when I, have some basic conception of what mountain blood could be. So at that age, maybe I could hear that earlier, but I think I was aware of the meaning of that expression at 7 or 8 years old.
All right. If Krakow had a theme song, what would it be?
Theme song. Next question, please. I have no idea.
All right. Hey, that you could pass, no problems. One word to describe Everest Base Camp.
Quiet.
Nice, nice. So I love this question. Which has a greater chance of happening? Your mom coming to Texas or my mom coming to Poland?
I'm sure your mom coming to Poland. As much as my mother loves traveling, that would never happen.
All right, all right. Who complains more, Texans or Polish people?
Polish people. Do Texans even complain? I never heard
I
that.
think we do. I think we do. This next question, you've done it, right? So besides you, would a Krakow person survive the Texas heat?
Yes. They can survive the smog. Winters, they can survive the heat.
All right. Which hits harder, snow in the Himalayas or snow in Poland?
I would say snow in the Himalayas because there is nowhere to hide from it.
All right. Yes or no, is complaining about the weather in Poland a sport?
Yes.
All right. Texas barbecue or Polish pierogi?
Texas barbecue is definitely like better in taste, but since I'm not like I seldom eat meat, so if it's something that I would have to, eat until the rest of my life, that would be probably pierogi. But when it comes to, the taste and the joy from the food, it's definitely the Texan barbecue.
All right. Would you rather hit the trail at 4 a.m. or have a daily stand up?
Come on, daily stand up with you, of course. No 4 a.m. anything. Come on.
All right.
You should ask 4 a.m. stand up or or a hike. My
Yeah,
answer would be different, but
All right. All right. To the listeners, this next question, you're going to hear the word beep. It's because the word that we're beeping out is protected. So, what is harder to follow, the beep process or the airport signs in Lukla Airport?
airport signs are easier to follow than beep.
All right. And yes, to the listeners, Natalia and I know what the beep stands for. So, all right. In Texas, we say y'all, which is exactly what's on your shirt. What is the Polish equivalent?
I can think of a word from my region, so the Krakow area, which is wejrze. It's like, come on, let's do it, or something like that. I would need to think about a better translation, but it's something. It's like it's not a slang. It's like a regional thing to say in
Okay.
Krakow.
Say it again.
Wejrze. It's also very hard to pronounce for someone who doesn't speak Polish.
All right. So if there was an international cook-off and Texas and Poland were facing each other for the gold medal plate, who wins in the cook-off?
Texas. I'm sorry, Poland, but
I don't know. When we were in the Tatra Mountains, that soups that I had, that was probably one of the best meals that I've ever had, just soup-wise. Like, it was absolutely amazing.
Okay, when we go to the categories, soups, Polish soups, we over the Texans, but yeah, when it comes to barbecue or meat in general, I think Texas rules.
All right, here's another one of those beep questions, and only you and I would know what the beep is. Maybe people who work with us could guess. But what is tougher to deal with, beep or the Himalayan winds?
Beep.
All right. In Poland, is vodka a beverage or is it a cultural tradition?
Oh, it's no longer a cultural tradition. I would like to think that it isn't. So right now, it's not. It's getting even less popular, I think. So I hope one day Poland will not be, known as a vodka place, because it's maybe not a good thing to be famous for.
All right. When a Polish person smiles at you, does it mean that you've unlocked the level 2 friendship?
No, it means that they must be crazy or have some mental issues. We don't smile at each other. It's suspicious when a Polish person smiles at you. Smiles to you.
I don't know. There was a lot of smiling once the vodka came out. So
because we are, we know each other. But when you are here next time, I will take you to the Polish public transport, and you will know what I'm talking about.
All right. So I shouldn't be smiling.
No, don't get in trouble.
All right. This is the last question, the most important question of the podcast. This really gives us a direction and a duration of the podcast. No guest has ever got it wrong, so there is a little bit of pressure. But I believe in you, and I don't know, you're going to get this right. So just listen to the question, focus on it, and hopefully we'll get through this. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. What is your favorite of all time Texas hiking podcast that you've been a guest on?
That's a tough question, really. I have been on so many. Let me think. Trailblazing Texas Podcast, I guess. Yes, would be this one.
I love it. Thank you for that. It warms my heart.
Anytime.
No one has ever gotten it wrong. I don't know that if there is another Texas hiking podcast, but I always throw in that you've been a guest on, so it really helps. It helps the percentages.
I swear I will never join any other podcasts about hiking in Texas. So that's my promise. It will be the only one that I.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that, even when I retire. All right, before we get into everything about the trek to Everest Base Camp, I just want to kind of enlighten the listeners to how we met and kind of how that all took part. I'll probably just kind of talk through it. You jump in as you see fit, and then we'll get into kind of like your journey into hiking and stuff, our trip to the Tatras Mountains, and then really tackle that Everest Base Camp. So to the listeners, I moved over to an apartment at the company that we work for. And shortly after that, our boss said, there was someone in one of the other teams, Natalia, that was looking for a challenge and wanted to come to the U.S., for about a year and just see what it's all about working in the U.S. What are my recommendations? And so, for me, having a lot of years into the company that we work for, and meeting expats, I understood how hard it is for people coming into the U.S. to get established, with credit scores and apartments and trying to figure out where to live and all that stuff. So for me, I had a conversation with my boss, Wojciech, and I was just saying, look, I don't know that you could beat living anywhere else but Texas. And yes, there are places in the United States that are, prettier probably, or, cooler to say, oh yeah, I was in New York City, like that, but like just the way of life. My vision of the easiness to get around, get established. I don't know that you could beat Texas, so that was my suggestion. And also, there was a discussion that coming to Houston, and I think that time I don't know if that I've ever even met you. I don't think I met you
No,
actually
no.
until after it was decided. But I said, look, there's a really big office here in Houston for our company. I'm not too far away, and I just think if it's only going to be for a year, come to Houston, and then if Natalia wants to stay longer, then she can decide. After a year, getting to understand the culture of the U.S., how people are, being able maybe to take little small trips to different cities, different states. And then you really start to kind of feel, okay, maybe I want to try New York, or maybe I want to try Colorado, or, some of these kind of probably cool places to go. So that was my logic behind it, is really to get you established. You were close to me. We're same department, and then get you established, get you an apartment in in a nice city. So you ended up staying in Kingwood, which is a nice city. And to me, it also gave you a little bit of kind of the Warsaw vibe, meaning that you necessarily living in Kingwood didn't need to have a car. So, the apartment was by the lake. You could walk down to La Madeleine or the grocery store, or you could cycle. So, you know, I know like the car thing was a big thing for you. So, that kind of eliminated that for the most part, I think. But yeah, so that was my whole thing, is you come to where, you can be taken care of in case something happens. And then whether you stayed longer or maybe 6 months, then you have the freedom to kind of decide what you wanted to do. So yeah, so that's how it kind of worked out. I met Natalia, I think it was on a call about all of this. And then our friendship kind of blossomed from there. Currently, we work together. And do you have anything to add about that whole experience? Like maybe what you were feeling like before you came, what you were feeling like while you were here, how it felt when you came back home?
Yeah, so I still remember our first or one of the first chats over Teams before me moving there, and my question about the roaches, if they are really that big as you claim or people claim them to be. And then back then I didn't believe you, but now I do. So that still makes me smile. Yeah, and you have like a great skills when it comes to helping people during the moving, because you made it so easy for me. It was like easier than my me moving from Krakow to Warsaw. Like I was moving overseas, and I consider this like the easiest step of my life because of you, because you made it so easy for me. So I will be like eternally grateful for this. And the listeners out there, if you live abroad and you're thinking about moving to US, call Jason. It's like a piece of cake with him.
So what was your best memory of living in Texas?
Oh, I won't be able to pick one. I'm sure, like for sure, our meetings in the these wine places where we tried Texan wines, and actually you introduced me to the wine thing, because I was never. Maybe I used to drink wine, of course, but I was never like an expert. And yeah, because of you, I got into this thing more. The barbecues, the food in general, which was terrific. It was so good. So all our trips, the hiking in some Houston trails, yeah, a lot of good memories from Texas.
Nice. To the listeners, that's kind of how it all began. Natalia she survived the big Texas cockroaches that live outside and somehow find their way running around. She survived the Texas summer without turning on her AC, which I still, I can't believe that. She's back in Warsaw now, and we are still working together every single day. It was a wonderful experience for Lori and I to hang out with you and get to know you, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So you are always welcome back.
Thank you. I'm thinking about it, so could be that soon we'll see again there.
Nice. All right, so now let's get into a little bit about hiking and getting outdoors. So how did hiking first enter your life growing up in Poland, or the outdoors maybe in general?
So for me, it started very late. So here I'm, a case of a person that didn't had to do that much with hiking throughout my, early years. And I was like, actually, I never did that, on purpose before I turned 30. I always thought that hiking is just like a weird way of, exercise, spending time. Like that wasn't thing for me. So I'm brutally honest here because, that was like a big switch in my life when that happened. So I wasn't really encouraged to do that as a kid. I used to go to some, short trips during the high school, but I remember the social part that was maybe the most important, but not the, like the hike part. So that was me 20 years ago, and I'm not proud of it. And I wasted so many years. But then, there was a specific event that changed that. So that was when I was 33 years old. I broke my leg, so it was like the first time I had like a surgery. I was first time in the hospital, so it was a transforming experience for me. And while I was recovering, I got some books that my mother got me, to so I could spend some time, reading. And there was plenty of books about, travels, hiking, Himalayas in particular. So that was also pretty ironic thing for my mom to do, when you lie down with your broken leg and read about all types of adventures. But I had a lot of time to think. I had a lot of time to read. And that's when it was, like a decision, like if I recover, then I'm gonna make use of it and explore the world more and start hiking. So that's how it started.
So do you remember your first real hike?
Yes. So I will call it a real hike because before that, as I mentioned, we used to go to some school trips. But it wasn't intentional. So like my first hike that I organized, that I wanted to go and pick the routes, it was in the Polish Bieszczady mountain range. Now it's like my favorite one in Poland. So that was a year after I recovered from that surgery. It wasn't long. It was like a, thing for a beginner. I picked like an easy route because it was my like first time. And, but it was a success. After that, I knew that I will do that more often, and in particular, that part of Poland is the place for me to go whenever I need to recharge or feel the nature.
If you look now, what does getting in the outdoors mean to you?
Oh, it helps me to reset. It's maybe it's not that easy when you have just a couple of days because but still it works. So it clears your head. I think it's sounds cliche, but that's how it is. Is time spent in the nature without your cell phone or any type of social media and work. Just looking around, seeing the forests, the mountains, the sun. And you're a new person.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So now let's tiptoe into our Tatra Mountains trip. So to the listeners, Tatra Mountains is a national park in the I would say, what is it, the lower central part of Poland?
It's close to the border with Slovakia.
Yeah. And so to the listeners, there's not a peak that's taller than Guadalupe Mountain Peak. So they're all, I think there's a couple that are a little bit lower than that, maybe 200 or 300 feet. But from a technical aspect, that mountain range is really technical. People die there. I think someone just died there.
Yes, in an avalanche. Yeah.
So the peaks are kind of what you would experience in Texas, but technically they're nothing that you would experience here. And then also, if you just want a visual, the only thing that it's absolutely breathtaking. If you've ever seen that movie, Infinite Storm, and looking at some of the pictures there of that mountain range, that's basically what it looks like. And I think that movie was done by a Polish film director, but it was done in not Poland, but a country that's pretty close to Poland. So the mountains look like that. So our company was bringing kind of everybody over. And so, everybody in our department. And then I guess it was a decision because at the time our boss, he also loves to trek in mountains. So kind of as a team building, it was discussed that, hey, let's go to the Tatra Mountains. And so when you heard that idea, what was your first thoughts of the trip?
I was so excited because I knew how much you love that. So I was so excited that we can show you like our mountains and that they may be something new for you. And it turned out true because you could hike in the snow, which is not so. I think it doesn't happen often in Texas, so that was probably new experience for you. So yeah, I knew that it's a great idea. I had no fears about it, and I was like all into organizing this with Wojciech, and especially for you as our guest.
So to the listeners, our team, our department is made up of boss, team leads, business analysts, and developers. So this is just to put in context my answer to that same question. So when I first heard about the trip, I was excited. Absolutely. Man, I brought out my micro spikes, crampons, never used my crampons, but I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And I started thinking about it, started doing some research. I mean, the views, the mountain range, it's unlike anything that I think I've ever experienced. And so I just started laughing and I'm like, all right, our boss, Wojciech, he's got this. Then I started looking at all the business analysts that were going to be part of this. And I'm like, yeah, I could see them being able to hike a bit. But then when I got to our developers, I started laughing. I'm like, all right, this is going to be kind of funny to see developers who are usually behind a computer 24/7 playing games or developing. I'm like, this is going to be a hoot. So yeah, I was all about it. And I couldn't wait to see, kind of the dynamics of the group and who made it, who didn't make it. And it was going to be a lot of fun. So was there any moments from the Tatras that you'll never forget?
Yes, and that was actually your reaction to snow. So this trip happened in April, when usually we expect spring, and we don't want to see snow anymore. But at that time, snow happened, so every Polish member of the crew was disappointed because we had so many plans. We wanted to see the valleys, with all the flowers that bloomed there at that time. But all we got was snow. So Polish people were very disappointed, but they were so happy, and no one could understand why. You wanted to, play with the snow. It was a very cute sight to see. So that is my best memory from that trip. So seeing Texan person playing in the snow, just never forget.
I think the moment that I'll never forget and I took away from that trip is we weren't above tree line. I don't know that we ever got above tree line. There were sections where it was open, but I remember rounding this corner and the trail was completely ice. And you definitely, we were together. So, that's where everybody from other people hiking and stuff, everybody was sitting around putting on micro spikes or crampons or whatever. And I just remember thinking, this shit just got real. When you have people that are used to this kind of terrain, all stopping and putting on the gear, I'm like, all right, what am I about to get into? It was never too technical. But yeah, that's that moment just right there at that corner. So, we were kind of heading, and then it just kind of took off up to the left, and everybody sitting around putting on the crampons, micro spikes and stuff. That's something that I'll definitely never forget. Also, that you did not use micro spikes the whole way and you never fell. That was pretty impressive. I felt guilty because I was like, okay, you can at least borrow one of mine. You're like, no.
I can tell you that right now I feel the same just walking in Warsaw because right now we have like a full winter. Sidewalks are, covered with ice. So it's harder to use the sidewalks in Warsaw now than, to hiking icy trails in Tatra. So yeah, that's, just a Polish thing. We have winters, so we train.
Yeah, and what was also pretty cool, I've never been in a whiteout. And so to listeners, we were taking this trail. We passed, I think the whole thing was about 8 or 9 miles round trip. We passed this lodge, which was really cool. I've never hiked, and then there was like a place where you could eat and get warm food, warm drinks. That was really cool. And then, we kept going, and we were going to dump out at this alpine lake. So I guess when we got past that little restaurant thing, I don't know what y'all call them in Poland.
You can call it lodge. Just lodge for hikers.
Okay. And it's really nice. But man, once we passed that, it was almost a complete whiteout. So the weather changed pretty quick. We were in snow. So thank goodness that the trail was already stamped down. So, you're not post-holing in snow. But yeah, we were in snow. It's snowing and you can't really see in front of you. And then when we dump out to that lake, I don't remember who was ahead of me, maybe Wojciech, because I was taking some pictures, and I just remember coming out of the clearing and you can't see but maybe 10 feet in front of you. And, I didn't care to see the lake, but it was so awesome to just see the silhouettes of other hikers for, us. And like you didn't know if that person was part of your group ahead of you or not. So you just walked up and kind of looked at them and go, oh, Natalia, oh, Casper, oh, Carl.
So you are bringing like totally new perspective, because these weather conditions are usually a disappointment whenever you hike in the Polish mountains. So everyone always hopes for clear skies, good weather, and nice views. So when you get the fog like that, it's a disaster. You hiked for so many miles or kilometers and to see nothing. So when you say that it was actually cool, then yeah, it's a new perspective for me to consider.
In Texas, we get the same weather conditions, but I don't know that it's in the quads or, you can get a blizzard, you can get snow, you can get 80, 90 mile an hour winds. I've experienced a lot of it, maybe not the 80 or 90 mile an hour winds, I think maybe 60, but I never felt like there's an opportunity that something dangerous could happen, right? But just getting a little taste of the Tatras Mountains, and to the point where, we're in snow, it was a totally new experience for me. And I really started to think, man, if I didn't layer properly, if I wasn't on point with my gear, this could turn out deadly. And especially when we dumped out to the lake, and I was just imagining, let's say it's just me, and I didn't make a point to note where I came out at, because you couldn't see, everything was just white out. Like, man, that's really a dangerous situation. So it really dumping onto that got me thinking, and also really, I don't know what the right words are, but it really made me be more mindful on hikes, that safety, I think whenever you do things and you make it and you don't really need to be on point, you kind of lax with, what this really means and the dangers and stuff. But I mean, that hike, as I don't know, like, not technically dangerous, but the weather change and stuff, it really, that's what I took away from it, is that, man, I need to make sure no matter what I do is to make sure that I'm ready. And it was absolutely breathtaking, amazing. And to the listeners, I think we only lost one developer. They all did a wonderful job.
But please explain what lost means. He didn't die, so it may sound too dramatic.
Well, I don't know. It might get more listeners if it's dramatic. No, he was not lost. I think he made it a kilometer. And then when the terrain started going up, he was like, nope. And he waited back at the area where you check in and stuff. Like, I think there was a restaurant there. So he waited for us. We had one developer, Carl, who bought some new hiking boots. He was ready to go. And Carl is like a son to me. I enjoy talking to him on our one-on-ones. We talk about a lot of stuff. And I told him, okay, if you're going to get something new, break them in. That means walking them a whole lot. I don't know that he did that, if I'm remembering this correctly. And yeah, he paid for it. Like, so he completed it. And at the end of the trek, he couldn't walk anymore. So we had to get a taxi and go back to the hotel. So I think Casper was with us, Carl, and then myself. We took a taxi back while everybody else walked back. And I don't know that it was a blister that was for Carl, but I think there was a section of his shoe that every step would just bump against his ankle, or maybe rub against his ankle. And I'm not sure it wasn't, I don't know if it was a blister. It was just, this has happened to me. It's just the most horrible feeling outside of chafing that there is. And it's just that constant over, 8 or 9 miles. He was hurting. So to the listeners, everybody did well, great. Even the developer that we lost after a kilometer, he gave it his all, and very proud of him. And it was nice.
Yeah, and we picked the route specifically for this variety of people that we had in the group. Some of them, having some experience and being a fan of hiking, and some of them that don't really do that, and they just decided to join us, for some social event rather than a hike. So that's why this route was an easy one, but still you had to have some, basic stamina to go up.
So did you have any funny behind the scene memories from that trip?
Maybe when I helped our friend Maribel putting on the micro spikes. That was nice to the listeners. She lives in Spain, so she also, I don't think she has much in common with, hiking in snow. So yeah, that was a cool thing, to see how well she was doing.
Yeah, and to the listeners, she's also a surfer in her youth. Not that she's old now, but yeah, she enjoys the outdoors. So yeah, she slayed it. I think funny behind the scene memory. So the company that I used to work for, before the acquisition to the company that I work for now, we had a big summit, and all these people came in from all over the world. And at the hotel, there was ping pong. I don't play ping pong. Yeah, like it logically, okay, I hit the ball. Well, I don't know what it is, but I beat everybody. And I beat everybody. And there was one gentleman from, I think he's from Denmark, older man, not old, case, he crushed me. So yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, I take those odds. I was beating everybody. So when we get to this hotel, they have ping pong, table tennis, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to trash everybody. And I didn't win one game, I don't think. everybody that was Polish, you guys have to take this as a class in high school or something, because everybody was great. And then Natalia challenges me, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to let her win. Oh, yeah, she crushed me. And every time she would score a point, she'd giggle. And you know how, oh, I just, I just wanted to win so bad.
You should have told me that, and I would let you in.
No, never. And and then Carl was like, you can't serve that way. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, there's a specific way you have to serve. And like the whole time I'm basically cheating because I'm serving not the right way. I had no idea. But yeah, I got schooled, and I will never challenge someone in ping pong again.
Yeah, all I have to say is that indeed, table tennis is very popular, or it used to be when I was a kid or a teenager. Not sure how it is now, but it is popular, and every school has a table tennis. So it's not like we maybe train, professionally, all of us, but on every break during classes, between classes, we used to play it. So it's sort of like a sort of a soccer thing for kids.
Yeah, I got crushed, and I went back to my room, licked my wounds, and went to bed.
No, you had a glass of gin. Come on, be honest.
Yeah, a couple. So getting back to the Tetra Mountains, like how do they compare to other mountain ranges in Poland?
Well, Tatra is the highest mountain range in Poland and the most technical, I think. Again, I'm not an expert, but all I know is that they are dangerous if you don't know where to go, or if you are not prepared for some trails. So definitely that's the place where you can actually die if you don't take care. Other mountain ranges, like the one I like particularly, Bieszczady, they are not that high. They're very picturesque. A lot of forests, different colors, and they're like very pleasant to hike. And you don't need to worry that something bad is going to happen to you, unless you are really unprepared and you just don't know where you are going. So yeah, I think Tatra is the most challenging mountain range in Poland. But if there are any experts about this that think I'm not right, please correct me. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. All right. Everest Base Camp. That's a huge leap to everything that we've talked about, with the preparation, the travel, all that stuff. We talked about what sparked the idea for you, but what was the process like for when you said, I'm doing it, and you hit that payment on the guide? Like for me, it would take a lot for me to kind of like, yes, I'm finally going to do it. And you hit that, payment to the guide, you're locked in. So what was that like, that when you just finally said, I'm doing it?
Okay, so that was a long process, actually. So I mentioned that, that accident, me breaking my leg and reading all those books. So there was one book that I would like to mention here, because that was like a real inspiration for this whole thing for me. And that was a book by John Krakauer, Into Thin Air. It is about this Mount Everest disaster in 1996, the commercial trip to the summit that killed so many people. It's very, very popular story. So I believe most of people know about it. But I didn't at that time before I read that book. And I think that was the first book about hiking or climbing or mountains in general that I read. And when my mom got me that book, I was like, Mom, I don't read things like that. I don't like it. Why did you do this? But yeah, there was nothing else for me to do. So I read it, and I got so hooked. I just couldn't, wait for another day. I just had to read it all over once or twice. Yeah, it was like a instant switch in my mind that this is something that I have to see. Of course, I never thought about climbing Mount Everest. I'm a realist, but at that time I knew that I have to see it. It's something I just had to have at least a glimpse on at. So That was that spark. But then, life happens, like different life events happened that prevented me from like organizing this whole thing, and then moving to Texas for a year. So this idea I just keep it locked in my heart for some time. But when I got back to Poland, and I got all my things sorted, like getting an apartment and establishing again in Poland, I knew that, that's the time. I'm not getting younger, just have to do it. So I had some, like second thoughts that maybe not this year, maybe let's wait a year after, but like something in just, this feeling that something inside you just tells you that's the moment and you need to do it now or never, right? So that was what happened.
Nice. When it was official, and I guess you could always back out, get a refund or something, but when it was actually official, you're going, and you started telling people, your mom, friends, what were their reactions?
Well, I booked that trip. So this whole trip took place in October last year, and I booked it. I think it was June, so it was like 4 months before. And I didn't really tell about it because, until I get there, it's very uncertain. So say that in Poland, that's plans like the silence. So that's what the direction I took. So I obviously told my mother that that's my plan. And my mom, who is person again, she loves traveling, but she's afraid of so many things that can happen to her children. So she not that she discouraged me from this, but she just I guess she just rolled her eyes because she knew that nothing she's going to say will work. So I knew that she may be a little stressed, she may be a little stressed about me going there. But at the same time, she's aware that these sort of things make me happy. So there is no point of discouraging me from this idea. So that was my mom, and I think I told my my cousin Monica, you know her, and she was like all for it, and she really liked the idea. But until late September, I didn't really talk about it much because still, a lot can happen. So my only thought was just to get there and start the hike, and then we will see. So yeah.
I remember when you told me, I was like, heck yeah, let's start planning gear. Let's.
when was that? I think it was like August or something like
that. It was early.
Yeah.
So through the process up until you got there, was there any self-doubt? And then if there was, like, how did you push past it?
Yeah, obviously. As I said, I was never a person that has much to do with sports and exercise. So hiking was like a new thing for me. And I didn't have much experience with, difficult trails, difficult hikes. That was the ones I picked were always an easy routes. So I had a lot of doubts because that was the first time I would spend so many days, outdoors in a foreign country, in a different continent. So definitely I didn't know if I'm gonna make it, but that didn't stop me from trying. So because I also read some articles or I used to listen to some podcasts about it, and hearing like very different stories about this trek, from people saying that it's like Tatra mountains can be harder than Everest Base Camp trek, to other people that say that it's a really a tough experience. So I didn't know what to figure out from these like different accounts. But again, I knew that people do that. Different people do that. Not only people who do sports every day. There are like regular people, and they succeed. So why can't I? And whenever something goes wrong, I can always go back. So that was something that kept me, going.
And to the listeners, if you tell Natalia she can't do something, or she has something on her mind, it's going to get done. So for me, as your pal, I was already ready to celebrate because I knew you were going to do it. Like there was no way, unless your lungs collapsed or something horrific, that you were not going to get it done. And that's, it's funny that you just brought up different accounts of people saying, oh, it's easy, it's hard, it's da, da, da. And I see this all the time on hiking and backpacking, like the Guad Facebook page, Guadalupe Mountains, or I don't know, even the Lone Star Hike Trail or state parks is, people asking, is this trail hard? Well, like, what do you mean? I don't, it's not hard for me, but I hike all the time. I don't know you. Like, I don't know what you can do. I don't know, do you sit on the couch all day? Yeah, if you sit on the couch all day, it's probably going to be hard for you. So, like that question is, I don't know why people ask it because or even answer it because, like, compared to what, I don't know what hard is for you. I know, for me, it was hard or not hard so anyway, it's funny that that you brought up that during your research that you experienced that kind of thing because, everybody's different and some people may even say that it wasn't hard and they almost died. Like, they don't want to say that, oh yeah, it's hard. So I think one of the most important parts of the success of anything like that is the guide company. So how did you even go about selecting the guide company for you?
There aren't many in Poland, so the choice is rather easy. And shame to say, but I'm not a person that checks a lot of things before deciding for which is the best one. So that was the first company I picked. I knew that they are organizing the trips, and I've been following them for some time. So I knew that they are professional and I could trust them. So yeah, I didn't do much research. Actually, I know of two companies. Probably there are more in Poland, but I know of two. But I just picked the one that the dates fit for me, and I think that was all. Because in the end, it's the same place, and if they both operate for such a long time, it must mean that they do their job well. So that. It was just a first one I knew about. I just picked out that one.
So if you look back before you started the trek, you read the book, you were inspired, you recovered from the broken leg. What did Everest mean to you symbolically? Meaning that, was it just kind of a personal challenge? Was it the adventure, or was it something like maybe more like of a spiritual aspect? And that wraps up another exciting episode of the Trailblazing Texas Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode today, and stay tuned for our next episode where we will pick back up where we left off and guarantee to uncover many more hiking gems and share many more tips to enhance your experience on the trail. Until then, happy trails and happy hiking.